first question that I think each one of you can just share is, how do you see social innovation as a very important aspect of development?
Our social in Afghanistan, we have a different social life over here. Very much culture is involved. That's why, we are thinking that we should come up with the new ideas, technologies, and how technology can put us together socially, that can be able to move forward, especially women, because in our culture, women are not very much out, and they're not socially involved in a lot of activities, especially technology. So I think it plays a very important role.
If you look surrounding all countries, I visited 42 countries. I did many labs, and we will repeat the same problem that the government is not doing enough. We have problem of quality of education. We have problem of women empowerment. We have problem of having elder people who have different services. We have problem of remote areas who are not well served. We have all types of problem we are facing here. Social innovation, it became like a tool, a platform. Actually, we have problems and no one's taking care. The government doesn't have the resource, the money, the time to tackle everything due to many problems. So it became the citizen mission actually to take care of every single initiative. From one side, he will create a job and create a world for himself, and he will solve a problem.
Social innovation has a huge important role between the public, government sector, private sector. Government are devising policies, and social innovation gives this chance to the public to connect with the government. At the same time, challenges, some of the procedures implemented and their impact can be responded back by through social outlets, through social media networks, through volunteers. They have a very critical role. If it's contributed positively, definitely it has a lot of impact on the economy, on the government. Social innovation has a very direct link with the development and money aspect, so definitely the role is very important.
Till the society exists, the problem will exist. It's the people, the problem is in the society, and there will be always a different problem in the society. And that society and that problem need a solution. And the best solution for this, to solving this problem, is iLab. This is a good platform. It's a very modern method of solving problem, identifying the problem of the society and finding a solution for that.
I will say thank you for sharing those initial thoughts. Now, coming specific to each one of you, your experiences and all, how do you see that social innovation in Afghanistan? Problems are there in terms of migration, in terms of children, in terms of quality of education, health, and in all these problems, women suffers the most. What kind of ideas you want to share or thoughts? Because there are many women entrepreneurs sitting here, innovators sitting here. So why don't you share those couple of thoughts?
As an entrepreneur, I would say that many more women are facing a lot of challenges. Areas are ways that how we can fix all these challenges. But as I said before also, that we live in a country that culture is taking over, and our people are not ready for a lot of changes. I'm very proud of all these Afghan women who are out, despite all these challenges. They're working so hard, they're getting their educations, they are going to some of the social events. Today I've seen a few, which is I'm very proud of them, and they are trying so hard to change the lifestyle for themselves and for other women also. Technology also can play a big role in it. I'll give an example as a Facebook. that which is many women has a Facebook accounts, which was their pictures are not there, either a flower or some movie stars or somebody else's pictures are in their Facebook. But if we work hard, especially if we can get our educations, make ourselves, and I'm sure that we can bring a positive change in our society.
The role of younger generation like here we have in Bahrain, how they are trying to solve or coming out with new ideas and thought process using technology to solve the problems in Bahrain.
I'll take Bahrain. In fact, we are looking to oil countries like perfect countries, even Western countries. But let's say that oil countries they are reaching a kind of curse, which is oil. But the other dimension of perhaps we have a good infrastructure. We have a governmental e-government. Bahrain is the third and the 13 in the world and the third in Arab for e-government. But the human part, which is social development part, is not going parallel to that. So I'll give you one personal example, which is a national case. I was working Bahrain Development Bank in about 15 years back, and we have a problem that all young people coming to get a loan startup, we don't trust them, we don't give them money. And we have a small micro credit program in Bahrain, but we don't have, it's very limited in amount of money. So I was a GM, wasn't the director, I was one of the director, and I did a small study, and I told the director why we don't open a line where we give money without collateral, with a very inspiring mode. He said, no, risk management, and that's how we proposed, and the board of directors refused. So at that time I left the bank, I went to the government, I was advisor, so I repeat the idea for the Minister of Finance. I said, okay, now I have a proposal, I will go myself, I will make proposal, I will go to sit with 10 bankers, CEOs, I will tell them, okay, we put your money, I will bring Muhammad Yunus from Bangladesh to give the coverage, so we will have a bank which is a social enterprise, and 10 banks will put a share, and the government will pay only 40% of the paid capital. And the idea goes well, 2007, 2008, and thank God we got approval from the top manager, from the king, so he gave his blessing. So bankers were very motivated, so we gathered about $50 million for paid up capital, and we created Family Bank, which I was a CEO for 5 years, and the bank won a prize, Mohammed Rashid Al Maktoum, in 2014, so I quitted immediately to create my business. But that's to give you that we can do things. I mean, I'm not saying at all this is my achievement, but I said I was a person, I identified a problem, I was creator, let's say, I tried to solve it, I couldn't solve it within the environment, I would get out. So this is a part of the citizen role in changing what we call a change maker.
Now coming back to Mr. Wafa, supporting the young generation of entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs, innovators, startups, what you have been doing or you want to do or you have been supporting for the young generation?
Definitely young entrepreneurs, they are facing initially a lot of challenges and they need the support. The very first thing for the banking industry is that it is mainly working for its own objectives, to keep deposit safes, to keep the confidence of their customers, and at the same time to generate a sustainable profit. And that's the main objective of a bank. But at the same time, there are many other factors which are important. For example, regulatory framework. One of the highly regulated sectors in Afghanistan may be banking industry. We have regulations, we have laws for the banking sector. We do whatever we do, there is some guideline from the central bank. So a regulatory framework is very important to pave a way for the younger generation, for the new businesses, for startups. Banks will consider that. But in addition to that, we come up with certain solutions to this problem. When I came to Bank Emili, the very first thing my friends were asking me that why you cannot finance a shopkeeper, why you cannot finance a student, why you cannot finance a housewife. The same time, we thought let's work on some of the things where everyone is eligible. The first thing I come up for the women was, let's keep one of the most precious things in addition to other aspects I won't discuss is the gold. The most of the women housewife, they have gold. I thought let's just keep this as a security in issue loans. That was the first thing I started working on. At the same time, we come up with the small consumer loans. You need a refrigerator, you need a TV, you need a computer, you need a laptop. Just come up with the two government officials giving a guarantee to the bank, having an employment job, you can get a small loan to buy a refrigerator, a laptop, any household needs. At the same time, we come up with a new product for manufacturing sector, for the new small companies in manufacturing sector. They can take a loan of up to $200,000. And interest rate, as from background I was an economist, the very first thing I did was I brought the interest rate down, but gradually, to help the people, because I know that circumstances are special, security situation is exceptional, and for that we need to work so that we can support our businesses.
Now coming to Dr. Darwish, Afghan youth, the young entrepreneurs, the ideas they have come out with, and how solid and strong are the ideas, because coming out with ideas is one thing, and the other thing is how strong are the ideas which can have a very sustainable model, because that is another biggest challenge for us.
iLabs is on the real and good track, but it did not reach to a situation where it can be sustainable. So therefore we need to keep this ourselves, the people from, especially the people, the young generation, and also the bank system, the private sector, the societies, they need to come together how they can sustain this. Who can take a part in this process, and how can we re-engage the donor, maybe the same donors or somebody else. And also one thing very important, in the past 7 years these iLabs were implemented in Herat, Mazar, Kabul, and also in Nangarhar. But there are a lot of other provinces which are left. Even Kandahar was not involved in this, which is one of the big regions.
It's a random thought that I'm sharing with all of you is that iLab is a platform in Afghanistan which started a couple of years back with so many critical partners joining in, the youth joining in, entrepreneurs joining in, the knowledge joining in, the experts joining in, resources pumping in to create an environment of entrepreneurship in Afghanistan. So we want this, if you consider this platform as a very important, viable platform, and it has a rich potential to contribute to the entrepreneurship in Afghanistan. What do you suggest, that representative of an organization or as an entrepreneur yourself, as a banker yourself, you seek your role into that? How do you see your role in that?
The very first thing is that they need to meet with different businesses, organization, government, non-government bodies, at the same time international donors, and they need to have a discussion with them. They should come up with certain assessment of certain sectors, and also finding out the problems, and then coming up with a discussion with the round tables and also with the panel discussions.
Technology, I think, can solve a lot of problems in this regards because many women, they don't know how to use or how to play with the technology. This is also another issue that many women has to get the courage to learn technology and to make themselves advance about the technology. So the only thing I can say is that don't give up, fight for it, and make yourself educated about it.
Michael Porter has a very nice quote. Says that business has two functions. marketing and innovation. So if you manage a business, you have to innovate, then to market. Innovate, market. Innovate is getting or jumping on the other side. And I end by a point regarding the women. I'm really very keen to support the women. I have one simple thing, that the culture dimension is really an issue. And not only in Afghanistan. I have a partner in Saudi Arabia who is a very strong business lady. Unfortunately, because she is married, so many times we have a meeting in Bahrain, she can't come across the border. She has to get a permission of her husband, and sometimes he's traveling, sometimes he doesn't like to give her permission. So I mean that dimension is not only Afghan dimension, it has a dimension in some countries, but we don't see it. We have to live inside to know that women are really getting tremendous amount of challenges. The man has his own challenge to achieve what he wants. The lady will achieve what she wants, what the family wants, what the tradition wants.
We had a long journey in iLab for almost 7 years. And now it's time, how can we sustain this iLabs? It's very important. You might have a very good idea, a very good product, and you need financing. And when you go to the bank and give your idea, there is also, from my experience, there is lack of experienced people in financial system in the context of Afghanistan to evaluate your project, to evaluate your product, and to say it is the right decision or not. They will simply say, I am not taking risk and I am not going to finance this. For this type of problem we are facing, this is also a problem. We need to have a platform such as iLab to negotiate between banks and also the products you have, the entrepreneurs you have. Therefore, it is a challenging issue that we need to sustain this iLab, maybe without the support of the donor, or maybe we can think how can we re-engage the donors. It is important for the banks also to have this understanding of our product and our projects, and it's important for us, which will address the problem of the society. At the beginning I said, when there is a society, there will be a problem, and each problem has its own solution. In this digital world, we need to find a solution, a digital solution for all of our problems. Security, e-education, everything like this. On behalf of the technician, I am recommending all alumni to apply or to be part of this process in the future. Technician will be announcing who can be part of this future iLabs in Afghanistan. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And I liked your word iLab culture or iCulture, innovation culture in Afghanistan. It's very, very important. And thank you so much for being with us.